Welcome to the Money Savvy Parents Podcast, the podcast for parents to gain financial education to then pass on through the generations. I am your host, Laura, mother to 3 beautiful children and founder of a financial coaching business, Savvy Peacocks. Let's remove the taboo from money together. Hi everybody, welcome back to my podcast. I really appreciate you tuning back in again. Today we're going to delve into something that's going to help you with the structure of your money. So let's delve straight in and hear that question from the audience.
Hi Laura, I want to start making the most of my monthly income and structuring it in a better way. I'm really fed up of not knowing where my money's going and getting towards the end of the month and nothing left. What approach would you suggest I take?
Thanks for that great question. So first of all, I just want to start off by explaining the difference between a budget and a spending planner. I much more prefer a spending planner, and I use the word zero-based spending planner, which I'm going to explain to you today the best way to use and structure a zero-based spending planner. But a lot of people get turned off by using budgets because they feel it's very restrictive and that they can't spend outside of that. But what a spending planner does is it decides where your money is going in advance of you actually spending it, and it gives you the autonomy to choose where you're going to spend that money. So if you want to spend money on having fun, going out for meals, trips away, then that can all be built into your zero-based spending planner. Whereas a budget typically is where you're trying to cut back and you don't have those niceties within your life. A zero-based spending planner allows you to do all of the things you want to fulfill in your life, ensuring that you've got the right structure and the right plan for it. So why should you use a zero-based spending planner? First of all, I believe that it helps remove anxiety about money. It certainly helps provide structure and freedom, and it also helps you to understand exactly where your money is going and what you are achieving with it, which can give you a great sense of fulfillment when you look back at the end of the month and see what you've achieved. So, as I've said previously, what a zero-based spending planner is where you allocate every single pound in advance of you actually having it. So you're not winging it in any way. It's simply a way to structure your money and ensure that you're working towards your money goals and that you're covering as many eventualities as you can possibly think about. Now, most people do this with a spreadsheet, but you could just use a simple pen and paper, whatever is right for you. I'm happy to share my spreadsheet for anyone that wants to look at that. And this is something that you would sit down and do on a monthly basis because, of course, what you want to achieve this month might be different from what you want to achieve next month. So, few days before you get paid and you know how much income you're going to be having, you can take your income figure and then list down all of your essential bills. And at this time, look at any of those to see if there are any of them that are creeping up. Maybe the direct debit's going up without you realising, or any that that are expiring, that need renegotiating. So have a look at those essential bills. And then next to that, you're going to list down any debt payments that you've got and any monthly commitments that you have, like childcare costs, things that have to be paid. And then from there, you're going to work out an amount of money that you are going to allow yourself to spend on food. Now, when I say food, what I mean here is the food within your home. So I don't mean takeaways or meals out. I just mean the food within your home, for the lunch boxes, for your dinners, for your breakfast, for your snacks, those kind of things. So things that are going to come on your weekly food shopping or within your weekly food shop trips to the shops. Now, this is where I really need you to have a serious look in the mirror, because a lot of us think, oh, I only spend £400 on food a month. But actually, when you go through your bank statement for the first time, if this is the first time you're setting up this spending planner, I want you to go through the last 2 or 3 months and have a look at how much you're actually spending in those food shops. So you can simply take your bank statement and highlight through and take an average and find out what the reality is. And if you're comfortable with that figure of what the reality is, then of course, that's the amount of money you're going to assign to food this month. But if it's perhaps a little bit uncomfortable, and you want to rein it in a little bit, then this would be your opportunity to have the reality of, oh my goodness, I didn't quite realise I was spending £700 a month on food shopping. How can we rein that in? How can we ensure that we're not spending too much on food? Because there are ways in which you can eat well for less. And then the rest of the money that's left is available for you to allocate out as you wish. So a few things you might want to think about is expenses that you have for the children. And when I say that, I'm talking about maybe their birthday presents, their Christmas presents, tucking small amounts of money away for that every month can really help. When you think about school shoes that are very expensive, they're being replaced every term, then if you can just tuck a little bit away for that every month, maybe you need to put some money aside for any clubs or classes that they go to, or some clothing that you can see that they might need. So a small amount of money towards children expenses is a great practice to be putting some money aside. And think about maybe some money towards repairs to the house, because you don't know what's going to come up within the house. Maybe any garden requirements you've got. And also a good practice here is to think about any annual expenses you've got. So your house insurance, your car insurance, anything you have to pay on an annual amount. If you can break that down on a monthly amount, tuck it aside, then when those bills come up, you can pay for them quite freely. And of course, they do end up being a little bit cheaper if you pay for them annually. And then from there, you're looking at your savings. So whatever's left is the amount of money that you're going to tuck away into your savings. And this is where you can really think about, what am I saving up for? What are my money goals? So I've spoken in previous episodes about an emergency fund. So if you've not already got an emergency fund, then this is the time to be putting that savings money into an emergency fund. Ideally, you're looking for a minimum of £1,000. And then after that, the best practice is to also have what we call a backup fund. So typically 3 to 6 months worth of food and essential bills money, so that if you do lose your job or you come onto harder times, you know that you've got your bills and your food covered for at least a period of time to give you a little bit more wriggle room. So if you can work out the monthly amount of your essential bills and your food, and then times that by 3 or times that by 6, then that's going to give you the amount that you're working towards with your backup fund. And then everything else is towards your money goals and your future planning, and it will really help you avoid getting into debt. But if you are already in debt, I just want to caveat this with that you can work towards these money goals as well as paying down debt. So there is a way in which you can do both. And as I say, in a future episode, I will be sharing with you how you can pay down debt and the best approach to it. But when you're thinking about this spending planner, you've got your debts are going to go in your monthly commitments, and then you might want to put a proportion of your residual money into savings and a proportion of your residual money into making an additional payment towards your debt. So you need to have a serious think about where your priorities lie, look at the interest rates you're paying on your debts and what your money goals mean to you and how urgent and important they are. But balancing out that need to protect yourself from future debt has got to be the priority. So the emergency fund and the backup fund have got to be your number one. And then the other thing I would just mention at this point is try and think, as your income grows, is there a way to think about where that additional income should go? So don't just slip into extending your outgoings just because you're earning more money. I know it can be really tempting. And of course, there will be a point in your time where you might want a bigger house or a better car, but certainly think about being quite strategic with any additional income you get, because that's your opportunity to build your wealth for your future self. So a lot of the banks nowadays have the opportunity of you being able to segment your money in this way. One place I can definitely recommend is Starling. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but they have like money pots where you can segment your money. So you have your current account and then all your money is segmented out, and you can have as many pots as you want. And what I also like within that is that you can put a goal in as well. So you can say holiday pot, goal is £2,000, and then you can just keep adding to it every month and you can see how near you are to that goal. But what's left within your current account after you've done all of that should be just some fun money for you. So something for you to spend on yourself so that you don't feel restricted, that you are going to enjoy those earnings that you've earned. Once you've made all of these plans and you've put together your spending plan, then it's really important that you stick to it. And I always like to share about food shopping in this area because it can be really tempting with food shopping. If you've agreed that you're going to only spend a certain amount of money on food shopping, and then it gets towards the end of the month and you think, oh my goodness, I've spent all of my food shopping money. I'll just quickly hop up to Tesco's and get something for the next few nights and we'll worry about it next month. That's not what you should be doing. If you're getting to the end of the month and you've spent all of the money you set aside for food shopping, that is the point in which you're looking for what's in your cupboards already, what are the cheap alternatives, how can you get through the next few days until the next month starts. And then when the next month starts, think about increasing your food shopping budget if that last month's budget didn't quite work for you, or assess where you maybe were a little bit more excessive with your food spending. So it shouldn't feel completely regimented. It should give you the freedom to buy the things you need when you need them because you've segmented the money off. But really in these first few months, it's going to be a little bit of a trial and error because it depends on your lifestyle and what you like to spend your money on. So just as a recap, it's really important to give every single pound a purpose. By setting up this spending plan, what you're doing is you're ensuring that you have the ability to buy the things you and your family need when they need it, but also to be working towards achieving your money goals and creating a great money story for you and your future generations. So if you've not already set up a spending plan, I would urge you to do that now. If you need to listen back to the episode because I'm aware it's a lot of information, then please do so. If you want to reach out and get my spreadsheet, then please do so. I will happily share. But I hope that this really does change your structure to your money so that you're not worrying about money and thinking towards the end of the month, how am I going to survive? Thank you so much for listening today, and I look forward to seeing you again on another episode. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to Money Savvy Parents. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please subscribe and post your money questions within a review for future episodes. If you want to learn more, then please join my Money Savvy Parents Facebook group or club on Clubhouse. Let's remove the taboo from money together.